Right, so to start with, what we're doing today is we've got 4 different tactics and viewers, and we've got mine. So we're going to start off with my primarily used tactic, and see how it compares to everyone else's. We're going to do it at House of Verona because they're predicted 18th. So if we can finish and however high up, brilliant. Um, so we're going to start with mine and then go on to the others. Thank you so much for the support so far. If you can like and subscribe to keep it going, we're still going to be doing 2 free uploads every day for, well, however long now. So as I
There's no
said,
time
this is a
limit on
tactic
it,
I'm
so
starting with. You've all seen it in the Sheffield United save. I've also used it in the Schalke save a bit. So yeah, we're going to start with my 4-2-3-1. Go through till we're going to play through till sort of January time. Obviously, we're not going to make it fair across all tactics. We're not going to make any signings or anything. We're just going to have to use what we've got available to us. But yeah, we'll come back in January for a
right.
short
So
update. Going into January the 1st, brilliant start to the season. Absolutely incredible. We are second in the league with a game in hand and only 5 points off. Incredible start to the season. However, I have found a huge problem. And if we go into transfers, I didn't realise this. Obviously, I've got this on Real World, so it's got Real World transfers, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We pretty much lose our entire squad. I didn't realise this, but luckily, if we go to transfers in, they've also managed a ton of transfers coming in. So what I'm going to do on every save that I do for all the tactics, we're going to go and have a little look at what's gone and what's come. Obviously, I know after this save, and I'm going to sign the exact same player on every single save. So let's say if everyone's gone, and we need another right back, say for example, if I go and sign a right back on this one, we will then sign the same right back on every single other save we do for the tactics, just to make it completely fair. But so far, we've got average ratings. Josh Doig, he's leaving. He's our wing back. He was perfect for this system. He is going to Sassuolo. Yeah, just everyone's leaving. But we've got some really good average ratings. The most goals so far have come from Kroon and Gong. He's been playing on the right side. Again, I've said this a million times before already. I'm a really big fan, especially in the tactic that I play, with left-footed player on the right side, right-footed player on the left side, just so they can cut inside because the way the fullbacks overlap. I won't bore you with it again, but yeah, all it is your inside forward supports all tuck inside to play almost like it's attacking mid roll, but they make more forward runs, and then your fullbacks overlap and take up this space. Typically, play the ball back into that general area. Happens on both sides. Really big fan of it, but yeah, not a huge amount to go off. Obviously, he's probably leaving on a free. I don't even know if he plays. He definitely doesn't play. So whatever, that can go. But yeah, other than that, nothing really to write home about. But second in the league, so what we'll do is depending on what we have to, if we have to sign someone, we'll come back at the end of January just to explain who we're going to sign and why we're signing them. And then obviously we'll sign the exact same player across other saves, across all the databases. Sorry. Um, but other than that, there's not really anything to talk about, obviously, because we're just sort of trying to get through it. But yeah,
right,
we are
I'll catch
back
you in a little
again
bit.
at the end of the season, first season with my tactic. So we finished fourth in the league. Absolutely immense. Absolutely immense. We didn't sign anyone in January in the end, so all the transfers in and out. Where is it? These were already done. I made none of these. These are just on the real world thingy. It's done them all. So it'll happen the exact same on every other save. But we finished. Let's have a little look. The stats are such forth. So we have someone on Duda on 11 assists. I'm not saying too many players to be high on stats because obviously we pretty much had an entire team shift in January. Pretty much everyone went and everyone come back in. So it'd be actually interesting to we go to squad, see who the most played player was. Had the goalkeeper on 40 games, these all were on loan, 34, 30, and then it's like 17. So yeah, a lot of new players came in the what's it called in the summer. I mean across Christmas, sorry. But overall, really good season for this tactic. Like I said, this is the my 4-2-3-1. All these tactics will be in Discord, and Discord will be it will be in the description. If you can't find them in there, or just ask someone, and someone will help you. But yeah, so that's pretty much how my one went. So I don't actually know which one we're going to do next. We'll have a little look. Let's see whose is next. We will we'll do Simo's next, he's in the stream every day pretty much, and other stuff as well. So we'll do his next, and then we've got 3 more to go after that. Right. So back again with Sim's tactic just before. So I'm going to do this just before everyone comes and goes, because that way you get a fair sort of like look at what everyone's doing. So most goals for in Sim's tactic so far is whoever this is on 6 goals. You got this Donny scored 5 from. Joy, he scored 5 from right back. That is relatively impressive, to be fair. I really like that. There's some Badori who scored 5. I don't think anyone's left just yet. We'll just double check because someone might have left who had a really good season. And so many people are left. He played 14, scored 1, so maybe not. He had played 1, scored. Oh, yeah, that was season before, I think. So yeah, nothing crazy from this so far. 16th, 21 points. So it's not going terribly. Got to think, since House of Verona are predicted to get relegated, as long as you stay out of that relegation zone, it's relatively okay. It's relatively decent. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing really to write about. Even though we're on 21 points, there's only an 8-point gap into Europe, so it could all change very quickly by the time it comes around. I did find that my second half of the season was stronger. I've got to show you this in mine, so it's a bit annoying. But yeah, my second half of the season was stronger as well, because obviously your tactic familiarity and everything else is up a bit more. So yeah, it's just a wait and see, I guess. But like I said, no one's going to be coming in. We will just be waiting for. Yeah, obviously these players are coming in, but I haven't signed them. So yeah, but other than that, we will get on to the end of the season, see where we end up. Right, so that's the end of the season with Sims Tactic. We'll go and have a little look and see how it got on. I did see that it didn't do amazingly, but the thing is with 4-2-2, I might be wrong with this. I've not played it too much, but I believe if you're playing a 4-2-2, you got to have very specific stats in certain areas. And obviously, without making transfers to make it as fair as possible, because everyone's tactic is different, it's very difficult to try and get it, right. I can't sit here and spend 2 hours signing players for every single tactic accordingly. I can do if that's what's wanted, but at the moment, it's sort of like the most fair way of doing it is just picking an average team and then seeing who performs well out of those. But yeah, I mean, it's still not terrible. He still exceeded what the board expected him to, so it definitely could have been worse. Go to squad, go to goals. Oh, see, 7 goals from his striker all season, and he has been there as well on loan. So it's a bit, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I've never really got on with it anyway. Everyone's different. If it works for him, it works for him. But yeah, there's not an awful lot to say on this one at the moment. The only thing I will say is that we're now going to go on to going on to Kieran's now, I believe. And that's a 4-4-2. So again, that might be a little bit better suited to House of Verona and whatever else. But yeah, we'll be doing another one of these again next week anyway, because it's going to be a weekly thing. So I'll get Sim to send me another one, or he can change this as he wants to, however he sees fit, really. So yeah. Here we have Kieran's 4-4-2. Same as Sim. He's in the stream essentially every day, blah, blah, blah. So he sent me over a tactic to use in the video. Interesting. When I saw 4-4-2, I thought traditional, bog standard 4-4-2. It's going to be interesting. It's not. It's really not. So it's going to be a lot different. He's play out the defence and over up on the left, fairly wide. Against just balanced passing direction, counter press, rather generic. Yeah, a low block. It's positive mentality. It's going to be interesting to see how this does compared to Sims, because these are both, in my opinion, what you call a rogue tactic. Yeah, it's not a generic one, which I really do like. So we'll get into it. We'll get into January, and then we'll come back and we'll see how we start. Right, we've got into January, and I'll be honest, been a very poor showing. Around negative 25 goal difference, 2 wins, 4 draws, 15 losses. Like I said, again, it might be similar to the 4-2-2 where he needs very specific players for it to be effective. Whereas obviously we're limited at the moment anyway, because you've got players coming in and they all come in on deadline day or the day after. Yeah, they all come in. Mostly come in the day after deadline day. So again, it's not great. What you might have to in future is get people to send me over what type of player they need in which position to give it a true test. But yeah, at the same time, I don't know. It might end up turning around the second half of the season. We just don't know until we get there. But let's have a little look at average ratings. We've got one player on a 7. It's the goalkeeper, but he's played one game off the bench. Other than that, we've got no one above a 7. The highest amount of goals from anyone is 4 goals. And that's come from, I assume he's been playing striker, one of the 2 striker positions, or the shadow striker, sorry. But yeah, only creating 4 chances. It's a bit tough to see, but I don't see an awful lot more coming from it. I'll be surprised if we're not sacked by the time we get to summer, but we're still going to give it the run through till the end anyway. I will end up speaking to Kieran tonight, and I will ask him if there's a certain striker that he needs or whatever. And the next time we do it, I'll get him to send me some players that he wants in certain positions, and the 4-2-2 as well, because I don't quite know why it's not working. I know he's had really good success of it on his save, but yeah, but maybe it just isn't the one. Unfortunately, we ended up getting sacked. It didn't go great. We got 4 wins throughout the whole season, 7 draws, leaving us with 19 points, 45 goals. Like I said, if we go back and have a little look, the striker, the striker we had, where's he gone? He hasn't scored a single goal. That's a really poor example. If 1 goal from Christ knows how many games. Yeah, it just didn't seem to work. Like I said, I'll be streaming a little bit. I'll speak to him. We'll try and work out if there's certain players we got to use or something like that. To understand why it didn't. Try and understand why it didn't work. So if he gives us another one, we can get it to work basically. But yeah, I'm afraid that is pretty much it at the moment for this one. I'll have a little look again, but it doesn't look like anyone really did anything. No, again, 3 games off the bench and didn't score. 1 game didn't score. 10 games scored 2. Yeah, so it's just, again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. He's probably got a very particular setup that he uses that team in. But right, so the last tactic for this video, this is Jack's. You may notice that it's called Scott Carson is Terrible. Again, he is in the stream pretty much every day. This is an ongoing joke, because unluckily for him, he's a Spurs fan. So he got a bit upset when I mentioned that Scott Carson has more trophies than any player currently at Spurs. So he likes to bring it up 2 or 3 times a day to try and piss me off, saying Scott Carson is terrible. When we all know in the actuality, he's the most decorated player at Man City. But it is what it is. So yeah, he's got a much more, I'll say, orthodox tactic. It's it's basically a 4-2-1, 4-2-1-2-1. Still a bit unorthodox. Typically, you'd play like 1 DM and 2 centre mids, but it's a lot more straight shooter. So this would be a very good comparison, because obviously this and the 4-2-3-1 that I primarily use, they're both very much generic, is the word I'll use. They're both very much generic, whereas the other 2 are a bit more unorthodox. So it'd be interesting to see how this one does in comparison to mine and the other 2. But we will, like I said, no signings, nothing like that. We'll get straight into January and see how we're doing. Right, then. So we're back again at January, this time with Jack's tactic, and it is going an awful lot better than the last 2. We're currently sat 3rd, 10 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses, 15 goal difference, and 33 points. So let's have a quick look. Goals have come from relatively all round, to be fair. From the right-sided player again. Honestly, his tactics similar to mine in regard that his wing backs are on attack, inside forwards. His inside forward's going to come inside and make chances in this area, and then his striker's going to float sort of there almost. It is so good with this guy now. We're scoring. Well, he's got 9 and 6 from 19, so he's got 15 goal contributions from 19 games as a right winger or right attacking mid. Incredible. If you don't have players out wide here, I feel like you miss out on so many goal scoring opportunities. I think is the best way to put it. And the amount of chances you make, and having 2 DMs is just unbelievably strong in this in this game engine at the moment. It's so strong. But yeah, he's having a really good run in the league. The cup, he's got Roma in the quarterfinals, which is again really good. We've got 7 players all in one goal. Again, goals are well distributed amongst 7 players. So yeah, we can't really complain at all. You got Roma, yeah, and then the rest are all relatively big teams. Florentina is probably the smallest team left in the cup, but yeah, so relatively good start to the season. We will. Do you know what? We haven't looked at any of these. We'll see what the Youth Intake preview looks like. I haven't bothered looking at any of these. There's 3 A's in there. We might come back in March to have a little look at that because we haven't looked at one yet in this video. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll go to the end of March. We'll come back at the end of March or towards the middle of March. Sorry, and have a little look and see where we're at. Again, this won't be a big section, but we're going to have a little look at the youth candidates just because we haven't done it yet in this video. 1A, relatively decent to be fair. He's practically plays central as well. If I was training him, if I was to sign him and train him, which obviously we're not going to sign him because it only runs for a season, I would probably play him on the right and then train him. I'd probably train him and play him on the right and then just put final third on. Really good determination, but he needs to increase his composure and other little bits. So final third would be really good on him. Relatively okay goalkeeper at 6'4". Couple of loan spells probably make him really good. 5'9" centre back, not interested. To be honest, it's not amazing. Again, he looks alright. 5'7", good technique, good flair. Was okay determination, but again, he could be better. And obviously, this is only like almost like an average or guesstimate almost. So they can exceed this. It's rare, but they can exceed it. But other than that, nothing too spectacular. Right. So that is the end of the season with Jack's tactics. So last tactic getting into this video, last game of the season. Hopefully we get some more. We're going to get some more tactics in for the next episode next week because this is going to be a weekly thing. But yeah, knocked out in the quarterfinals. Not too upset about that. Did get Europe. It might be Conference League, but Europe is Europe. So that was obviously bar my one, which mine wasn't necessarily. I didn't necessarily put my tactic in to say, "Oh, look at me, it's the best." It was more, this is the benchmark that I would set of it because that is the best tactic I have got and have made. Yes, okay, it's in a very good formation, whatever else in the game engine, but that is the best example that I could have to almost set the bar. So yeah, we've done that now, but like I said, it's a relatively good season. Got Europe, just got to avoid relegation. That's the only job. 8 goals with an assist from the striker. He's good. 6 foot, good decisions, relatively okay finishing. He's probably been quite good. Holding midfielder, just a bit average, but he's all right. Another striker again. He's got 6 goals from 23 games off the bench, basically. But yeah, again, goals are really nicely spread, which I quite like. I quite enjoy that, to be fair. Makes a bit of a change. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe and join the Twitch chat so I can use your tactics next week.